Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Road Dog Coffee Podcast. We're a little short today. A lot of people had things to do, including the show's host himself, Mr. Spencer Squire. I hope you're listening, Spencer. You let us all down. We are extremely disappointed in you, and there will be a disciplinary report handed to Mr. Spencer down here. He will be dealing with you Monday morning. You better be glad it's him, because if we give it to Jeff, your butt is in serious trouble.
What?
Jeff's so mad his camera's not focusing.
Yeah. You got to put your hand.
No, Jeff, it wasn't your glasses.
Okay. While Jeff fixes his camera, you go get yourself a cup of coffee, and we'll be right back. All right, Jeff, you need to put your hand up. Put your hand up in front of your camera. No, further back. There you go. I don't know. It's not focusing, Jeff. It's weird.
Wow.
I'm seeing your best side, Jeff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
There we go.
Go.
There's that beautiful kisser.
Oh man. How's everyone doing this morning? John, how are you, man? Because I don't know how long we'll have you. How are you?
Very good. It's good to see you guys again. It's good to be on again. How is everybody else? I know Adam's rushed this morning.
Doing well, John. Thanks for asking.
Man, if I was any better, they'd have to drug test me.
Shouldn't they drug test you anyway?
Probably.
You're a little...
Man, that's funny. I'm my week's all right. It's good. You know, it's been a week, just a normal week. Nothing exciting going on. You know, just moving through the week, right? Moving freight, doing some prospecting.
Get into drayage, Pedro, and your life will completely turn around.
Man, I tried drayage a handful of times, man. I could probably do better at it now. I didn't like it because I had no one to lead or guide me when I did it. I just had a customer that had a need for it. She knew everything about it. Like, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that stuff. But that was the thing. Like, after she left that company, I was like, okay, I only did like 3 loads with her. I was like, shit, I don't know enough about this. And to be honest, it was more headache than it was worth, just like LTL is with me. Like, I don't like doing traditional LTL. I'll do partials on box trucks and in 53 footers and stuff, but I don't like messing with LTL carriers. There's too many dang rebills and all these classifications, and you touch my customer shit 18 times, and then you swear to God it's not your fault that it's damaged by the time it gets across the country. You know, it just magically the pallet tipped over and restacked itself on its own in transit somehow. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah. Everyone keeps saying that, man, but again, don't have anyone like right here to hold my hand, bro, until I'm good at it. Drayage is... It's one of those things, dude. You know, I've heard the stories from Hunter. That was Hunter's thing. And Steve, that's what he does. I have heard the stories, man. You mess up, don't get those chassis back, don't get your little slips for your appointments and all that mess. Woo-wee.
It hasn't, dude. It hadn't even been that this week. I haven't done a lot of drayage since COVID, right? During COVID, I was probably one of the biggest drayage agents at our company. And I did something like 3,000 drays for the year. And so it really died off. This last week, I don't know, just out of nowhere, I had some customers go, hey, you know, we got some hazmat stuff. We need dray. Like I had 2 containers that were in Atlanta that needed to go to Joliet, Illinois. I'm like, why are they in Atlanta? Well, that's a good question.
Why didn't you put them on the rail?
Well, that's the problem. They were on the rail. They were at the Atlanta rail yard.
Gotcha.
So one of them was light enough that we could round trip dray it. It was hazmat, so got an asset for that, got that done. And then the second one was overweight, so you couldn't dray it. We had to transload it in Atlanta. Oh. So I have a transload partner in Atlanta. No big deal. They were just going to cross dock it for me. So I had a BCO go get it. Had 2 BCOs there to pick up, and The container gets there, he backs up to the dock, and he is literally 2 foot higher than the dock.
Nice.
And I'm like, I asked my buddy, I go, hey man, you've done all of my transloads. Like, how does that happen? He goes, I have no idea, but there's no way, because it was a class 6 toxic poison. He goes, I'm not touching that if we're not dock level. And I'm like, well, obviously. So here I am scrambling at the last minute to try to find another warehouse in Atlanta to transload this. Thankfully, when you have a lot of years in this, you develop a deep roster of contacts. And I had a contact that, dude, it just worked out. He was 2 miles down the road, got it done, got it happen. All this stuff finally delivered this morning. So I'm like, whew, thank God.
I love Dre. I mean, I do it every single year, but I do very complex stuff, heavy haul, liquid balsamic vinegar, 45 Ks worth. And
you Italians up in New Jersey would do that.
Oh, no, all West Coast, baby, all West Coast. And so you have to get it siphoned. You got to get the bladder bag removed. You have to weigh it before it arrives, after it arrives, so you get the exact weight on it. Set the in-gate and the out-gate from the ports, because it's all coming in from Spain and stuff like that. But it's easy stuff, all heavy haul too. And, it as well. California has some pretty strict regulations on heavy haul.
Yeah, you got to be in the heavyweight corridor.
Yep, exactly. And so, we've been doing that for the last 5 or 6 years. And it all comes, and it's all 20 footers too, all TEU.
You're one of the only guys I know here that does like really heavy ISO and tank stuff, because there's so many restrictions on it with us. So
yeah,
if I ever get that, like, my first phone call was to Jeff.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's never been a problem. It worked like clockwork. I talked to the custom brokers, because I have to deal with custom brokers, and then I have to deal with the drayman, and I have to schedule that, and I have to schedule with the consignee, set the schedule for the in-gates and out-gates, and get the right chassis there. Triaxle chassis.
LAX is legit one of the worst ports ever.
No, I'm coming out of Oakland.
Oakland's not nearly as bad.
No, it's not. It's not bad, but you have to deal with who do I deal with? MSC. Hate them. Freaking hate them.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you schedule the appointment for the pickup, and you get there at the gate, and then they cancel it and saying we have no more. And I was like, dude, I've got it. I went online. I got the ticket. We're supposed to be there at a specific time. You're telling me you're not taking any more in. So that's kind of bullshit that you get at the ports anyway, But we worked through it, and it's pretty seamless. But it wasn't that seamless when I first started doing it, because there's a lot of learning curves that I had.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of learning curves in drayage, and if you're not careful, you can cost yourself a bunch of money.
Oh yeah, yep. I mean, and you had out of service chassis that were supposed to be repaired that weren't repaired. That you would. Oh, it's crazy. All triaxle too. So you're moving heavyweight TEUs on triaxles. Fun finding them, and it is what it is. But my customer's been with me for. She's one of the first ones. We've been doing it for more than 3.5 years. I've been doing it for 5-6 years. So it's all good. So if you're moving any kind of liquid, all that kind of stuff coming out of Oakland ports or anywhere, I'm your man. Love doing it. Piece of cake. Where did John go? Is he picking up all the boxes on the floor? I can't believe
I am shake up while they're over here talking. I'm sending prospecting emails.
Hey, give me your freight.
That's my boss. He's just making sure that I'm doing what he's paying me to do. I'm only here to run production, sir.
Hey man, don't pick on the ginger this morning, all right? It's just not the day.
If he didn't pick on me, I'd fucking worry. Our whole relationship is built around him treating me like crap. I mean, treating me amazing. No, I got the best boss in the world, man. I'm serious. I got an incredible boss.
That's important in this industry. It really is.
It is, man. That's why I've been here. I mean, I've been here longer than I've been anywhere. I think other than this was McLean for like 4 years or something, 3.5, 4 years. So I've been here almost 5 years come June. So, you know,
Nice.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that is
Love it.
awesome.
Yeah, bro.
Mr.
Everything I need here, man.
Yeah, Mr. Spencer has been in his business with his mom and pop for about over 40, right?
No,
38.
it's 31 this
31?
year.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's been a blessing, man. It's something else. It's kind of nice to get to be your own boss.
It is.
But
it
it does,
It
I'm
has
not going to
been
say it's all glory, right? Like there's a lot of days you worry about paying your employees and making the bills.
Yeah, as you described, I don't know, a couple months back, where you took a huge hit, but if you know what you're doing, you're going to rebound kind of quickly. So
That is the sincere hope.
that's the ups and downs in this industry, especially, if you're on commission or you own the business or whatever, but it beats W-2s, baby. It definitely does all the way.
I don't know. I think it just depends. You got somebody with a boss like Pedro has. It all depends on your leadership. If you got good leadership, W-2 isn't so bad, especially if they pay you.
And I'll concur with that. I mean, I've had great bosses that I'm still friends with 30 years later, that put me under their wing, taught me a lot of stuff, and I just kept on.
But see, here's one of the things, man, Jay. I don't mean to cut you off. I like the W-2 thing because I agree with everyone, man. Like 1099 is great. Everything works for everyone. Everyone's got their thing. I mean, have there been times here where I could have made more money 1099? Yes, maybe no. But the stuff that my boss offers here, I would have to pay for all of that stuff. And honestly, half of it I wouldn't even think of, man. Like the Seamless and Zoom Info and the automation stuff that helps us prospect and all the DAT that he pays for, I mean, if I DM him right now and say, Kyle, I need this, I think this will help me, he'll be like, okay, send it over to me, I'll buy it for you right now. And so, you know what I mean? Like days off, you know what I mean? Like, just lets me do as I do, as long as my work is done and my loads are covered and people aren't calling and complaining to him. He's like, do you, bro? You know what I mean? So, and it is, to me, it's leadership, it's leadership and everything I got. Like when I came to brokering, I was still learning. So everything that I know really about brokering, I learned from my boss. So he's not just my boss, he's my mentor. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I continue to stay, like even to this day, even though I've been in this industry 20 years, I've only been a broker for 5.5 years. So, even now I could come to him and be like, hey man, I've here is something yesterday. I've never had this happen. Since I've been brokering, I had a shipper, I got a new customer, and she asked me for our broker carrier agreement. And I was like, okay, do you mean a shipper broker agreement? I thought like maybe, she just had the terms backwards. I've never had a customer ask for that. So I DM him and my ops manager. I was like, hey, does this maybe seem fishy to you at all? You know what I mean? Like, the company they're reputable. We gave them credit, but like, this is just weird. And I was like, I don't want them changing anything and sending it back to us and saying, whatever. But both of them were like, nah, man. They're like, that's how you know you're dealing with a serious shipper. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, he's like, only serious shippers do that. He's like, they want to make sure that we're not screwing over carriers, that we don't have like any hidden fees in there and all that stuff like that. And I was like, okay, dude. Again, like 5.5, almost 6, never have had a customer. And I've dealt with multi-billion-dollar customers who've never asked me for that shit. So, there you go, learn something new every day, right? And had him help me out with that. It's like, oh yeah, let's just get it, send it over to him. If they have any questions, tell them to get with me. We'll figure it out. Boom, done. You know what I mean? So there you go.
Well, I'll tell you what, to your point, Pedro, it's great to have good mentors, coaches, but one of the key elements is having a really good disciplinarian that kicks your ass. I am so thankful for having those type of bosses that just sets you straight. They know what's going on. They lift you up. They help you climb. And they're just constructive criticism. Everybody needs that in this industry. If you're in the logistics industry, you need to get your ass kicked every once in a while. And and it's great. If you got a boss like that, those are the bosses that you want to be tight with.
Yeah,
For
man, he is. He's I don't know. I've not had one. I can't think of one better boss I've had, except for my first job outside of college. After I graduated college, my first boss on the office side, Chris Palmer, was a former Coast Guard officer. And my Kyle, my boss now, reminds me a lot of him. He's very stern, very direct, funny as all get out, dude. Like, that guy was the most inappropriate boss you could ever have. But he was great, man. He taught you a lot. You know what I mean? He wanted to help you and everything. So absolutely loved it, man. But you're right. He does sets me straight, dude. And I never question him. Not because he's my boss. Like, I mean, he's been in this twice as long as I have, broker. And so when he says, no, man, I'm telling you, this is what he does. And almost every time it works out. Almost every time it works out. We have a thing when him and our ops manager do something and then it works out a different way. I'm like, no thanks to you. And I tag him in for the whole company.
Yeah.
So it's good over here, man. We bust each other's balls every day, you know, keep each other up and help each other out, man. I think that makes for the perfect work environment. I'm at my computer before I'm supposed to be because I enjoy working here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, when I started, my boss, his name was Nick Ziss, and I'm still friends with him, like 40 something years later, pretty close to 40 years later. And the thing is when he hired me, you know, that big question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know, so I was pretty cocky, and I said, I'm going to have your job. I'm taking your job in 2.5. And I did, you know, but, and he helped me a lot. I mean, that's when I was heavily into, CPG electronics. I worked for Onkyo USA. And of course I was at Panasonic, you know, 14, 15 years in that industry. So, yeah, he taught me a lot of stuff and just gave me the opportunity, which helped me blossom. You know, and it's great when you have a boss that you're still friends with, you know, since you started. You know, it's not too many people that get to have that opportunity. So
I agree, Jeff. I agree, man.
Wholeheartedly.
Thank God.
Later, John.
Pleasure.
Bye, broski. Hey, later, man.
yeah, John.
Bald guys show up. Finally, we got something to reflect the light in this house. Hey, Jimmy, what's up, buddy?
What's happening?
Hey, Jim.
How's everybody doing?
We're great, brother. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I see Hunter's awake.
Oh, that's good shit, man.
That's
oh
fun.
man.
Hunter, I
how's
forgot to send you your Christmas gift. I'm gonna have to send it for a late Valentine's. I'm sorry.
Under a love of Valentine's from you.
Jimmy, how you doing, man? How's your week going, bro?
Man, it's going. It's slow, but it's going, man. I won't complain too much.
Yeah, I feel you, man. That's my week, man. My week's been slow too, like slow freight wise, busy everything else. I mean, it's great because I've been able to keep staying up on top of my prospecting. I had a butt ton of freaking follow-ups that I had to do yesterday, and I got like all but I think 20 of them done, which is what I'm working on now. So, but yeah, it's been a week, dude. Been busy though.
Yeah, I wish I would like to say it's busy. I hit up one of my customers yesterday, and I said, "Hey, lady, I need some work."
I know.
I said I need 20 or 30 containers more a month. She said, "So do I."
Dude, I'm telling you, I think stuff's shaking up. Even though I don't agree with the way Craig Fuller put it out there when he did his interview with Gracie at Manifest, saying it's going to be good for everybody but the brokers, but. Like things are shifting, man. You know, like we're all seeing it. You look at a majority of the data when it comes to rates, almost everything has a fucking upward trend. So I'm literally telling my customers, like, you know, I have several customers that, you know, they'll get rates a week before they want to book something or whatever. And in every reply, I'm saying, hey, this lane is on an upward trend. Do not expect this to be the same rate likely in 7 days when you want to book this, or 5 days. So, you know, how much more can it be? I don't know. It could be $5. It could be $500. I can't tell you that right now. Like,
yeah, you
know,
got to be proactive as much as you can. I mean, No, you're good, Jeff. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. You just got to be as forward thinking, as proactive as you can. I mean, I had a guy. He wanted all in Dre rates out in California, and I gave them to him. And now these are overweight and the whole nine. And he comes back and says, "I want to be around this number," and we were like $400 off.
Golly.
I broke down everything. Like I told him, I talked to 7 different carriers. I'm presenting you not with a medium rate. I'm with the best one with a little bit of percentage for me. And I broke it all down. And he was like, "Well, thanks for the transparency, but," and I'm like, okay, good luck to you at the rate you're looking to be at, because I have some pretty reliable carriers. I get pretty reliable pricing. So good luck to you. I mean, what else can we do? Try to be as honest, straightforward as possible, and hope for the best.
I think, oh, go ahead, Jeff. You make your point, then I'll remember mine. Go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
Because I want to go back to what Pedro said about how long we've been in here. 15 minutes ago, when we were talking about 1099s and W-2s and how much it costs to run a brokerage and all of this. This is the kind of conversation you have to have with the shippers, because the shippers, they have costs too, and it's relative to giving them service and providing the type of service that they want, just like all their operations and their backroom activities are all part of the COGS, which is cost of goods sold. Well, the same thing happens with brokerages, right? And there's a difference between asset carriers and brokerages, and what brokerages can offer that asset carriers can't, and there's a cost associated with that. So when they're beating you up, and that you understand how a shipper works and their operations and logistics, and you compare that to a brokerage and what you do, you have a better case of convincing them, hey, this is why you should work with us, or Pedro or Jimmy or Adam. It doesn't matter. There's a cost associated with every touch point that we do that others don't do. And the more knowledge and understanding that you have about a specific business in the ICP, whatever it may be, there's a value added to that.
What I keep
and
understand is,
hold on, Adam. Before I forget my thing, bro. I've been literally sitting here repeating this to myself in my head, so I don't forget. hey, bro. Hey, don't hold on, man. All right, so you maybe say about what I'm about to say, Adam. Honestly, so Jeffrey, you talk about I'm going to touch what you're saying, is like having these conversations and teaching and talking with your shippers and stuff about cost, and they do have costs as well. One thing though that I've learned over my time here that is a commonality is, and I've been having a lot of these conversations more recently, is these customers will sell something 3 months ago, but their customer doesn't want it until now. And when they sold it 3 months ago, they gave them a freight rate then and so forth and so on. And now here it is, a couple weeks, couple months, whatever down the line, their customer's ready for that. And that rate is, exponentially higher than what they say. And they're like, hey, this is what I've got in it. This is what I told my customer the transportation was going to cost. Well, hey, I understand that. And, X amount of time ago, that may have been the situation, but things have changed and this is what it's going to cost now. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, it's not the ideal thing, but this is where we're at. So I say that to say that I feel that those conversations need to be had with your customers. I have 2 customers. One of them is a plant customer and the other one is a seafood customer, that when they go to when they book their stuff, they get with me and say, hey, what is the rate now? What do you think it could be when we ship this in X amount of weeks? And I give them that, and they tell their customer, this is what it is now. This could be what it is in whenever we ship it. So just be aware of that. And I like that because no one is surprised. You know what I mean? If they go back to their customer, and sometimes my customer wins because sometimes that rate goes down, you know what I mean? And my customer gets to keep that extra money in their pocket. So, but not everyone has those, because I don't think a lot of manufacturers, shippers, distributors, 3PL, warehouse, whatever, I don't think they want to have those conversations and give up that level of information or insight into the company. You know what I mean? So yeah.
But they should. And here's the other thing too. And I'm sure Jimmy and yourself hopefully has been asked this question. Oh no, it's customer routed. right?
Oh yeah.
So there's a freight allowance. So when you know about freight allowance and what they give their vendors if they're going to get the truck, that helps you out because sometimes, in a lot of cases, you can get better rates than what they provided because they're adding that transportation, reducing that transportation from their cost of goods sold because it's part of their buying power on the vendor side who's buying it from that shipper. So, you can ask those pertinent questions that relate around freight allowance that in a lot of cases you can get through that door when a lot of people just back off and saying, oh, it's customer route. Okay, well, sorry, I can't help you, but that's an open door for a possibility for sure. Jimmy, you ever run into that?
No, I don't run into it a whole lot dealing with the drayage side. So I haven't had to run into it a whole lot. But back to kind of what Pedro said, in the drayage side, customers reaching out when the order is placed and the containers filled up. It could take a month to come across the water.
Sure.
A lot of shit changes in a month. So
Yes.
You just have to be upfront, forward facing. Don't let the problem kick you in the ass. Get in front of the problem and say, here's what it is, right? Like Pedro said, here's what it is right now. I will always reevaluate, but this is the best approximation I could give you if it moved today.
Right. And there's a strong possibility that 4 weeks from now or 6 weeks, that number I gave you is not going to apply. So,
exactly.
And
maybe you get a break. Maybe you get a break on it, but it's possible it goes up. Can I really forecast that? No. But I'll give you a rough margin. It could go up this much or it could go down, but this is where it sits today. If you ask me to move this today, this is what it's going to take. So,
correct.
And with this guy that I was referring to earlier, I mean, he's a direct importer, so I understand he's wanting the best possible thing. You're talking about moving 20-foot containers at 24 tons. So overweight, going on triaxles, live unload, and he wants an all-in price where I'm having to equate in the possibilities of detention and all these. And you're out in California, so you got port fees and the whole nine. And the number he gave me, it just made me chuckle. And I reached back out to the carrier like, this is the number he's saying. I'm just telling you, and it's laughable that we're not going to be able to get there. So I was just like, good luck to you. Hopefully we can work together in the future. But I can't reach that. The carrier doesn't make money. I certainly ain't going to make any money. So sorry.
Yeah, I can relate to that because I can relate to that, Jimmy, because I was just having this conversation before you popped on. Is that's what I move. I move TEUs on triaxles that are around 45,000 pounds of liquid balsamic vinegar. So I've got scale tickets, and out. And those port fees and all the other charges that are applicable with that, especially with the triaxle too. Have fun finding that, and I move all that kind of stuff out in Northern California. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean,
and those rates change unless you have a really good relationship with the carrier that you've always gone to over the years. And when that product comes in, to your point, I know 60 days in advance because I'm working with the custom brokerage that are going to be, providing all the documents and getting it through FDA and all that kind of stuff. And I can predict, but that doesn't work all the time, and those rates do change. And they change all the time. And if you're not upfront and transparent and honest with a client of yours, you're going to be done, and that's why they stick with you when you say that. It could move in any directions. If there's a reduction, like you said, Jimmy, I'll give it to you. I've got my set fee in it. I've been that way for 5.5, 6 years with you. I'm going to apply that as well. I'm not changing the policy on that. So all good points though.
Yeah. I mean, exactly what I'm talking about, especially dealing with West Coast.
Yep.
Things really get in flux out there, but if you go to the same carriers all the time, if they're doing the job, if not, find ones that are.
Right.
You kind of get their model in place. You know how they're doing their pricing. You can bid fairly well. You can quote fairly well. But what he was at, I won't throw names out because I won't.
Right.
Oakland, you know the California market. Oakland to San Jose, he wants an all-in rate on a 20 overweight. What are you thinking right now? Because I'll tell you the price he wants is $700 all in.
Yeah. Oh, you mean all in?
Yeah, this is what he asked. He said, I want you to get me to $700 all in. And I'm like, I took some off my percentage, Jeff. I won't lie. And I got to about $985. And even that really doesn't cover it. If the carrier pre-pulls or something like that, it will be screwed.
Well, here's the other thing that I would personally take into consideration in when it comes to rating. Got all the rules and regulations of California about heavy haul, right? And the routes that you can. So you got a heavy haul charge on that. It's not a regular fee. So you have to take that into consideration as well. You know, you got to educate these guys. You know, if you were underweight and we're not using a triaxle, then hey, we might be able to get to that number.
Exactly.
Right. But you've got all these other things now. Like for me, right? So when they get there, they have to sit there because they're siphoning out that blotter bag of 45,000 pounds of vinegar. You know, so now you've got the sitting time. I'm trying to tell them. I'll say it's going to take about an hour and 15 minutes to siphon that, and then we have to get rid of the bag. You know, and then you have to go back to the scale. So I want the scale in and out charges from the fees. You know, and then you've got the overweight fees. And then you've got, you got scheduled deliveries. I'm doing 3 or 4 of them a day, like almost 2 hours apart, a full day, you know, and there's a lot of coordination. That's money. You know, we don't work for free, and it's just like, and I say that to them too because I'm just that way. Do you work for free?
That's how I ended my email.
I don't work for free. I'm sorry. I've been doing it for a long time. But I do not work for free. And you've got to understand the different charges that are applicable to this specific type of run. You know,
that's how I broke my email down. I mean, I put it like in black and white, like this is the charge from the carrier for line haul. This is fuel. This is overweight. This is a triaxle. And this is across the board. These are standard charges. There's no getting out of it. There's no carrier going to say, I'm going to waive that overweight. No big deal. No, they're not. They're not going to waive this shit for you.
And then you get back. So the counter to that is, okay, so if I don't do that and I run it illegal and I get pulled over for not having the proper documentation for a heavyweight, you're going to pay that fine?
Exactly. And no, you're not, because you want your rate to be at garbage.
Exactly. You know, they always uneducated shippers. I'm sorry. I've been on that side for 38 years, right? Those uneducated logistics managers, their job is to reduce transportation costs and all applicable logistics costs outside of transportation to make their operation, their supply chain more efficient than what it is, right? I get it. Well, now they have to understand where we're coming from and what we're doing for them and how much we're saving them. You know, when it comes to freight bill audit and all that other kind of stuff that they do it internally, we're doing all of that on the back end, which is saving you a ton of money. And the average cost for doing that's about $75, you know, to do a freight bill audit, you know, correctly. You know, you take all these kind of things. I'm taking that off of your plate. I know what you have on your plate. I understand that. And here's how I'm making your day a little bit better and more efficient so you can concentrate on other things in your operation and not worry about this part of it. There's a cost associated with it. So, you know, those are the conversations you have to have. I mean, it's just.
And that's where it comes in. You know, I preach it. It's morals over money. And by having these conversations, it shows you that I am being as upfront and honest in this process as possible. You can take it, leave it. You can find the cheap guy. Good luck. You will find one. Trust me.
But you know what? To your point, Jimmy, right? And I have this mantra that I always say all the time. The cheapest rate could be the most expensive decision that you've ever made in your whole entire life.
Ever.
You want to save $500 on this, you do it wrong, it could cost you $7, $8, $10 million.
Yep.
You know,
Easily.
easily, without a doubt. And that's the kind of conversation you have to have on, you know, and tell them, you know, I'm here to protect your brand image and reputation as well as mine, because in every single truck, that's yours is in that truck, mine is in that truck, and then you got to look at the public out there. You know, even though they're driving next to you, and if we're not doing things legal and making sure that the safety is the number one thing, and doing things right to protect you and you protecting me, because we're honest with each other, that's a good partnership. That's where we need to be. You know,
Yep.
I'm saving you money, whether you like it or not. You may think you're spending more, but look at the other stuff. One catastrophic event, and it could be a door closing event. You want that on your shoulders? You know, you do talk about safety, and you go out there and you use that truck, and you didn't take the proper procedures, you know, by due diligence, and they go out and kill somebody. Do you want to sleep at night with that on your shoulders? I mean, seriously, you know?
No, you're preaching it, brother. I mean, it's just how I try to live. It's been a slow grow for me because of that, but I have zero problems being upfront, point blank, and honest. I'll tell everybody real quick, I'm not the cheapest guy in the industry. I'm not the most expensive either, but I do not work for free. And here's what you get. Here's the value. I'm going to find the right carriers to do the right job the right way and protect us. It's an us. We are a partner.
It's not me. It's not you. It's us.
It's us.
Right. We got to work together to do things right. You know, it's you know, those are the up and downs in logistics. You know, there's a lot of pain in this industry, a lot of pain.
Yep.
And when you go through a lot of pain, you understand it's a huge kick in your ass, you know,
Yeah.
but you learn and you preach that, because a lot of people don't understand that. Oh, it'll never happen to me. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, when you have that kind of mindset and one catastrophic event happens, how quickly you will go from a reactive mindset to a more proactive mindset, and then start putting measures in place. Don't wait until that time happens. Start fucking doing it now. You know, start writing those things. Learn where the gaps are. Learn where the fucking loopholes are. Close them off. Tighten up your policies. You know, it affects your internal operation. It affects your external operation, and you don't have those type of things in place. You're losing, man. You just don't know how bad. That's
Do
it.
your best to be in front of it. You're never going to have it all figured out all the time. But if you have it narrowed down to, well, I only missed on one thing, it's easy to gather back up. You know,
Yes.
if you missed on 17 things, guess what? Now you're chasing it and you're probably in trouble.
Right. And the thing is, failure is the best thing in this industry. It really is. The more you fall, the more you learn, the more you pick up not just yourself, but now it enables you to pick up others, because you've gone through that experience. You don't want people to go through that kind of hell that you have gone through, you know. And if you're not careful, you've probably heard this over and over again. History will repeat itself. It doesn't matter how advanced the technology and all these other policies are. It still falls in. It's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen, because it's a blindsided industry. Too many moving parts. You don't know what's going to go wrong at any given time, any given day. You know, you just have to be able to prepare for it. And being proactive is going to help you immensely. Don't wait for it to happen. Think about the possibilities and put yourself in the right position to combat that if and when it happens.
That's right. That's 100%. You got to think about the what ifs, you know.
That's it. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, it's living in the gray area a little bit, but you got to think about the what ifs. You know, everything is not black and white, especially not in this industry.
Not in this industry. No, no. And it's survival. You know, and you know, I just started my 46th year in it. I went through a lot of pain, man. A lot of pain. And that's why I write what I write. People may like it, they may dislike it. I don't care. If I can help one person just have a different perspective, give them a different viewpoint, and I save them something, I've done my job. It's not all about me. I try to help people out as much as possible, and if I do that, it's great. It's a suggestion, it's another option, it's an idea. Just do that along your journey and you'll last in this industry. Too many burnouts. I've seen too many deaths, divorces, just explosions like across the board. And it's just like, man, you got to step back from it, man. This industry will eat you up and spit you out faster than you know, man.
It's a dying breed and a dying mentality, Jeff. We are so selfish anymore. It's mind blowing to see how selfish we've become as a people.
It is, and the way that we move the industry forward is when we collaborate. It's us. It's really us, and learning from each other. It's not like we're going to back solicit and take this away from you and use what you did. No, especially with the freight fraud and stuff like that. We have to address this in a very collaborative way because there's so many intelligent people out there that have the different approaches to vetting carriers and controlling carriers and minimizing fraud. Just imagine all those wonderful mindseted people out there who are proactive if they just came to a table and talked about it and just used their ideas and put their egos behind them. Think of how wonderful this effing industry would be, if we attacked it as a unit, a unified unit, instead of going at it individually and thinking that we're going to solve the problems of logistics. Ain't going to happen. Fraud's not going to stop anytime too soon. They're just the bad guys are just going to get more smarter and figure out more ways to infiltrate what we're trying to build. We've got to be smarter. And there's a lot of highly intelligent people in this industry. I just wish they would come out of their little caves and start talking to people. It's a shame.
No, I'm with you. I mean, there's no perfect way. There's no right way. There's a lot of wrong ways, but there's no set in stone. This is the 100% way you vet a carrier. No such thing.
Nope.
Because there's too many scams. There's too many loopholes. There's always an ever-changing flow. But have a process and follow it. Once you have that, just follow that process. I don't care what tools you use. Follow the same process. If it's working, follow the process. Do the right thing. Call out the bad actors. Get your ego out of the damn way. The ego does not matter. Jeff is a cool person. I don't care if Jeff is the biggest person in the street or a beginner. I still like Jeff, and we can have the same talks and be comfortable in this space. I'm not going to say I've never went after any of your customers because I don't know your customers. But at the same time,
I go after all your customers, Jeff.
We all compete. Healthy competition is what this is.
Yeah, but here's one thing that I know and I can say about us three and the other people that were on the show here. On any given day, here's the thing. We can always disagree, but we can always agree to be friends after the disagreement. We're not going to hold it or just walk away from it. We understand other people's opinions and objections, and we don't take it wholeheartedly. We hear them, we understand them, but we work together to get through or adversities. I mean,
100%.
because that's the way that we work. We understand, we know each other, and that's what the industry needs to do, is to get more involved.
It really helps when you're like this, when you're sitting in a room with people who are like-minded. Everybody in this has a role to play, whether it's the carrier, the broker, the customer, the receiver. Everybody has a role to play, and everybody is attempting to make some money. So just be fair across the board. I'm not trying to rake my customer over the coals. I'm not trying to chop the head off my carrier. I
Nope.
got lanes right now that I'm running here in Georgia, Savannah up to Atlanta, Savannah to Norcross, things like that. I haven't touched those rates for my customer or my carrier for 3 years.
Yeah.
No one feels like they're getting cheated. Everybody's asking for and getting what they're asking for within reason. It's been negotiated out. Carrier hasn't come to me like, oh, I can't do this. Nobody. It's
Nope.
all about just be fair.
Yep. I could not agree with you more on that because I'm in the same boat, and they've stayed on board with me, and it's just being totally transparent and honest with them. We get paid to tell them what they don't want to hear and what they want to hear. Those who do not share I shouldn't tell them about that. They shouldn't be in the industry. They're not properly servicing their client, because those clients out there are paying you to tell them what they don't want to hear. That's your job.
Yeah.
If you see something that's wrong with what they're doing, bring it to their attention, and then be able to back it up of why it's wrong. And how do you get to that point, Jimmy? How do you got to get that knowledge and that understanding about internal operations on their side, because they're a shipper. Everything they do is internalized. It's departmentalized. It's not on the outside. And that's why I always say it. I always work from the inside out, where a lot of brokers out there, 95% of them work from the outside in. And then most of them have never stepped in a warehouse or in operations, on the logistics side, and they're missing out on a lot of opportunities. But the more the more you grow. It's just a fact of this, and I hate the word expert. I'm not an expert, far from it, because if I'm an expert and you call yourself an expert and Pedro says he's an expert, then you're a know-it-all, and nobody in this industry knows it all. You
can't.
learn every single day, because that's how fast this industry and technology is changing. And you have to be a chameleon and have that adaptability to those changes if you're going to continue moving forward in your journey. And if you're not able to go and do that and look and seek and find and do research and educate yourself and gain that knowledge, you're going to get lost so fucking fast. You have no idea. It will kick you in the butt so hard when you least expect it, and you're out. And that's how to survive in this industry, man. You have to go with the flow.
Yep. Yes, you do. 100%. I mean, it seems like, especially in bigger operations, it's like giving knowledge is taboo. And I don't understand why it's taboo. I mean, what's wrong with learning and sharing? As long as you're not lying and cheating, what's wrong with giving someone more information? I don't understand the problem. I mean, if I call Jeff and say, Jeff, I got this lane, man, and I just can't figure it out. Will you help me out? I guarantee you help me out.
Yeah. The first thing I would say, what kind of issues are you having, man?
Exactly.
What's not working on their side or your side?
Right. What's wrong with that kind of conversation? Jeff's not going to badger me for like, well, who is this customer? Who is this? And then you're going to backdoor me.
I don't care who that customer is. I truly do not care what that customer is.
But it seems like everybody,
it
seems like that's what everybody's thought process is. Well, if I say too much, so-and-so is going to go try to steal it. No, I'm not. I'm just going to attempt to help you with the knowledge that I have. And if I don't know, guess what? I'm going to say, you know who does? Talk to so-and-so. Maybe reach out to Jeff. Maybe reach out to Pedro. They might have a little more experience, but I'm not here to steal from anybody. I just want to do my job the best of my ability and help out where I can. That's the broker life. I'm here as the assistant, essentially. Let me assist you with your needs, and then I try to assist the carrier with their needs.
That's it. Yep, that's it. And one of the things I've said over the years is, and I lived by this rule for decades, I do not fire brokers and carriers when I was a shipper. I give them the equal opportunity to fire themselves. That's why I have no stress. Seriously, because in the beginning of every relationship, you have to write down your requirements and your expectations of managing the account, not you, but how your carriers are going to do that. And you've got to be honest with them and give them all the information about the operations and letting them know. And if they fail on that side, it's not you, it's them. You know, and that's why you put those things in a transportation agreement in that little section there, you know, of requirements and expectations. And you have to clearly and concisely write those things down and hold them accountable. Just like when I was a W-2 and working, my boss held me accountable for myself and for my team and what I did. And if they screwed up, it was on me. I took that blame. You know, that's what happens in logistics. You know, you have to be willing to take a hit because you're in that position to train that person and help that person. And if they listen to you and they screw up, that's on you. So you got to know what you're talking about when you do these kind of things. You know,
gentlemen, I hate to break up the party because this is a fantastic conversation, Jeff, and I'm so sorry to cut you off. But we're running up on an hour here. And no, I've got stuff to do. I love hanging out with you guys. I'd hang out with you all day, but I got some prospect to trying to make myself and I'm trying to make my boss some money. How about that? He needs that.
Trying to create other people's dreams.
He needs that. He needs that fucking yacht, man. He needs that yacht. I feel every year that I just work to fund his trip to Burning Man.
Well, you're doing a hell of a job.
Yeah,
keep up the good work.
All right. So I had one thing that I wanted to talk about, and it's weather related. Y'all are actually talking, you know, this great conversation here about things that brokers should do and shippers and in relationships and information we should share. And one thing that I do every day, I don't share this with my shippers, but I check the fucking weather. Matter of fact, as soon as I open my work browser, I have 4 tabs that pull up: my TMS, my email, my calendar, and the weather channel. So, you know, read the news to the weather and everything, check radar. Point to that being is brokers, you should be doing that. Carriers do it every day, or at least they should be. But brokers, you should be checking the weather every single day, see what your trucks are going to deal with on the road today, maybe what's going to happen tomorrow with the loads you got to deal with to book today as well. But point to that being, saw a story yesterday. There is going to be a heck of a winter storm across the Sierra Nevadas coming in Sunday, with the worst part of it Monday. Could be a little earlier, but they're saying feet of snow, not inches, feet of snow are going to fall across the Sierra Nevadas. So, and this came out of San Francisco. They say it's, you know, going to affect obviously I-80, all kinds of, all parts through there. So if you were traveling through there this weekend, or you've got a load or something that's going to be, you know, it's going to be going across there going into next week on Monday, if I were you, I would reroute yourself. I don't know how big the storm is. I haven't been able to see any radar predictions on it, so I don't know how far you'd have to reroute yourself. But again, Sierra Nevada, they're saying feet of snow coming in around Sunday, worst part of it being into Monday. So, and I wanted to bring that up because, man, we have been just obliterated, it seems, this year, right? Especially within the last month, man. You know, I mean, we had 2 weekends of it back to back, and then we've had, you know, that were, you know, widespread winter stuff. And then last weekend, you know, they had some bad stuff up there in the Indiana, Chicago area. They got hit pretty good. And or New York, I'm sorry, New York. They got hit real bad. Yeah, Carolinas. Yeah, man. So it's really been a really tough winter out there, and it is not over yet. Some places may think it is, but you got to think, getting those higher elevations, like in the mountainous areas, that their winters will go into April and May, you know. So, you know, hey, everyone just be prepared out there on the road, drivers. I mean, it's crazy. Mother Nature is she is flexing her muscles this year.
I'll add just one thing to that, to your point there. And brokers, please make sure you contact your shippers and tell them that there will be degradation in service due to this rerouting, as Pedro said.
Oh, that's so easy, and nobody does. You know, it's the hardest thing to do. But it's such the easiest thing. Just reach out and say, "Hey,
just reach out.
potential for delays."
That's
Yeah.
how you build relationships, people.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's be real with them. Oh, how many days? I don't know. I don't plow the roads, but we'll let you know if our driver's pulling off to the side of the road to be safe, because he's driving his house and he has monthly payments of $3,500 a month. He's going to protect his best interest, and I want to protect your products and your business. So I will be in contact with you.
We got a load coming out of Oakland, man, just a few pallets. And I read that story yesterday, text my shipper about it. He said, "Hey dude, I know we're supposed to pick this up like Monday, you know what I mean? But I can reroute this guy down to SoCal, but it's gonna cost you. Or why don't you call and see if we can pick this shit up early and they're gonna have it ready for us. But maybe fingers crossed today, fingers crossed this afternoon. But if not, we're gonna pick it up first thing tomorrow, and that driver will be clear across that crap by Friday afternoon. So
exactly.
Yeah. That's how you get in front of it. I mean, it's easy. Just do it.
30
it
seconds.
is. And I think, and they appreciate it, man. They appreciate that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you letting them know what's happening, because, they got other things going on. They may not be, your job is to worry about the transportation. Their job is to worry about, you doing your job.
It's they shouldn't be worrying about if you're doing it right.
That's right. All right. Closing comments, gentlemen. Jimmy, we'll start with you, my friend. What you got?
I got nothing, man. I got nothing. Everybody stay safe. If you are stuck out there in the cold, have some Road Dog coffee. For all your drayage needs, Red Rocket Logistics. You're independent owner operator and you're struggling, man. Check out AccuBid Pro. Fine tune that cost per mile. Learn how to bid a little better with these brokers and keep it moving, baby.
Love it. Jimmy, I forgot to put you in our email last night, but you're going to be with us at Matt, so we're just going to pull you on we're going to pull you on the show. You're just not going to have a choice. But
okay.
Yeah. Well, we sent out the email last night to get our guest lined up for the show. Jeff, what you got, my friend?
Yeah, nothing about my business. More on the Freight Fraud Summit that's going to be coming up on May 21st. Follow me, follow Thomas Martin or Gil Feldman. We've got a great agenda. It's all about fraud, no waste, nothing else. We're going to educate, give you the best practices from SMEs, from all different aspects of the industry. You name it, they'll be there. So, join, register. We've got early bird specials until March 31st. Use it, abuse it, just use Summit 26 when you go to register, and all good. Reach out if anybody has any questions or if you want to sponsor as well. Thanks.
Love
Outstanding.
it. Freaking A, man. I like it, dude. Let's see. What do I got? First off, Road Dog Coffee plug. I got to say a couple things since Spencer's not here. That's because he had a big order, actually. That is why he missed out. He is expanding into a grocery store chain. I'm not going to give out his business, but he was in, I think, 18 of their stores, and now he's going to be in all of them, which I think is like 60 something stores.
Awesome.
So
That's great.
so he's he had to he's at the warehouse right now getting a shipment ready for Old Dominion to come and pick that stuff up. So yeah. But anyway, Road Dog Coffee. You can go to roaddogcoffee.com and get yourself some pods or rims, as Road Dog calls them. You can get whole beans, you can get grounds. They got lots of different flavors. Smokey and the Bandit, that just came out. That is a dark roast. You can go get yourself that one. And I think with your first order, he still got it up. I'd have to check. But with your first order, I believe you still get 20 or 25% off. If you are a returning customer, you can use code LOUNGE15 and get yourself 15% off your order, including shipping. So,
Nice.
And go follow Road Dog Coffee on all their socials, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Good people over there, Mr. Well, I mean, he's I. No, he's I. We love Mr. Spencer. And for myself, Let's see, everyone. Tomorrow, Freestyle Friday on the Logistics Lounge, 4 p.m. Central, 5 Eastern. Y'all know the deal. No guests, no agenda. We're just going to sit back, chill with the screen full of unhinged logistics professionals. I'm sorry, disgruntled logistics professionals.
Oh, I won't be there.
And maybe have a few drinks, have some great conversation, and take ourselves into the weekend. What else we got? Mats. Everyone's getting ready for Mats. It is a month. About 40 days away, 45 days, actually less than that, about 40 days away, somewhere around there. It is the end of March, March 26th, 27th, I believe. It could be wrong, but somewhere around there, I have to make sure. If you're going to go, make sure you check us out. We'll be at the Freight Ninja booth number 38502. We're going to do some live shows from there. Going to have a good time. We're going to bring on just a bunch of great people and just, rattle some stuff off for about an hour. Hoping to get Kentucky DOT back on there. Gordon
Nice.
McGill is going to come talk about his new book that'll be out by then. We'll be off of pre-order and will actually be being sold out to ship by then, I should say. So going to be a great time. Other than that, hey, everyone, appreciate you joining us. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. We're just going to go and do some work and help keep America moving. So, you know me, as I always say, chunk them deuces, and we are out.